We were talking about the happy art movement.
Yes.
And I wanted to kind of just elaborate on that a little bit because, now that I have my own place and I'm thinking more about myself and what kind of space is conducive to me and what brings me joy. Like we were talking about before we started the podcast about the pink toilet paper in the bathroom.
Right.
I've been approaching life this way, like choosing things around me that just bring joy, bring happiness. Because I think it just transforms like every part of your day, your interactions with other people and just who you are in general. So I can just imagine that when you're creating these art pieces, you're fueling that energy into your work.
No, definitely. I put everything in my work. I love what I do. I really don't know what I would do if I didn't have it, basically.
I'm sure
I have been so
you
lucky.
could do a lot.
No, I'm doing so lucky to, wake up in the morning with a purpose. I can't stay in my house without doing anything.
Yeah.
A long time ago, I used to read a lot. I don't read as much. I mean, I read things on my phone. I don't go to the computer, but I read on the phone. But anytime that I run to the studio. I was traveling this weekend and I arrived and I went straight onto my studio.
Wow.
To paint Saturday, and I was there Sunday. I could stay there even longer. But actually, since Lucas started running the business, he became the CEO. I was able to spend more time with my art because before I was having meetings and I was painting and I was traveling, promoting my work.
Too much.
So now I'm doing the painting and I do the traveling.
And then
The business side, Lucas handled that with the entire team, and I've been very lucky to have a great team and
I
to have
love
Lucas
that.
there.
Yeah, it's important to have a good team.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, I think it's so important to find your purpose. But back to what you're saying, it's also very important for people to surround yourself with things, with people, and things that bring you joy.
Yes.
And many times people end up hiring an architect, and then they leave everything for an architect. If you can afford to do that, and you end up living in a place that doesn't look like you. And you don't feel like comfortable in your house. And that's why many times you see somebody say, oh, so-and-so bought their house, but they just sold it. Like celebrities or somebody, because you clearly don't have a feeling about the home.
True.
Because if you choose everything, it's a collection of things things that you really enjoy, and there's a story. Like you travel, you see something, you bring to your home.
For sure.
And all that, can tell a story to you, to your siblings, to your family, and it's a great thing. I definitely suggest for people to select what they have around.
For sure. Look, like last week or 2 weeks ago, I was at Home Goods. I can shout out Home Goods.
Oh my gosh.
And I see this pink light. It was a light in the shape of a mushroom.
Oh.
And I'm like, does it match with my house? Not at all. Do I need it? Not at all. But I love it so much. It's so cute.
Right.
And now I have it. I did.
Oh, that's great.
I got it in my living room.
That's fantastic.
We love it.
Yesterday, my sister came over, or my friend came over, and she was like, where'd you get that light? I'm like, I don't know. I got it at Home Goods. I saw it, and I just felt like I needed to take it home with me. And every time I see it, I'm
like Marie Kondo says,
cute
it
little thing.
Sparks joy.
It does.
Yeah,
It does
that's
spark
great.
joy.
So this is, I've been wondering this for a while, and now that you're here, I can ask you.
Okay.
I want the real answer. No, he's nervous now. He's sweating. No. Okay, so I know that you do a lot of limited edition prints and a lot of different mediums that you make your art in, and I think the process is fascinating because, correct me if I'm wrong, but even the prints start with painting, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's paint on the print. Yes.
Right, and then you render it or whatnot, and you can tell me more about that process. But in that process, I saw, which is something that I've always wondered, your style in the background a lot, right? I've noticed that there are these wiggly lines, right? It's kind of like details.
This is my signature. I mean, I do a lot of patterns on my work, and one of them, many years ago, I started incorporating my signature, Britto, many times.
That's your
So
signature?
it's a signature, yeah. Oh my God,
I thought this whole time that it was like a secret language.
Oh, no, a lot of people.
I thought you were creating like a secret language and hiding messages back there.
He is. It's himself.
Well, I mean, what happened, and when you observe, it's really my signature many, many times. Like the portrait of your mother.
Yeah, it's in the house.
And your father and mother together.
Yeah.
Them. You can see there, you can spot their Brittos many times. And it happened because many years ago, I was waiting for the CEO of Absolute Vodka to come to visit. And I was like, what should I give it to Michel? His name was Michel Roux. He commissioned Andy Warhol, Keith Haring. And then I was like, I saw a bottle empty there of Absolut vodka, and then I fill in with paint and I shake, and I put to Michelle, but Britto came out so bad. And the Britto, you know, when you write something and it didn't come out and you try to fix. Yeah. And then I wrote a few times and I was like, I started writing all over the bottle. And I was like, oh my God, I love it. I'm going to do it in my work. I started putting my name everywhere.
I love that.
And it became like something really cool because like people that copy my work, try to say it's me, but they cannot copy my name, right? So it's a really good thing for like copyright too. It's great.
How do they try to copy your work?
I mean, with the canvas and paint.
Oh, like
That's hilarious.
Like really make a fake.
Like,
I mean, one
grab
thing,
the same thing that you did.
one thing is like somebody trying to fake
your style.
Yeah.
Imitate your style.
Imitate one thing. Because sometimes people want to imitate, but you do
Right.
like something, but it's you.
I've seen that on
but
YouTube.
You know what?
There's like a video of a woman. She's like, we admire the pop artist Britto. Let's do a heart in his style.
Right.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
that's not what you mean.
No.
Yeah, what I mean is that somebody gets something exactly like somebody get you
To
and make
impersonate
a copy
you.
of you.
No.
I know, it's like freaky, right?
And then
Yeah,
sell
yeah,
it
no.
like as if they're
and
you.
put your name there. You know, like put Romero Britto.
No.
Yes.
That's crazy.
So anyway, it was good, you know, like the whole process for me to develop my style was something like very spontaneous, nothing like premeditated. It just happened.
You were with the flow.
Yeah, with the flow because first, you know, there was a time when I couldn't afford to buy paint. I did work on finger paint, you know. There was a time I did just black and white.
On newspapers
and
too, right?
newspaper too.
Yeah.
And
Saw
then
that.
newspaper I used to show in the streets of Miami. I did a lot of, I mean, quite enough. I wish I had done more because this work and I was like so valuable and people pay so much money. I have very few of those. But I was just showing the streets for $30, $50.
And now you have diamond
Wow.
dust. By the way,
yeah.
what the hell is diamond dust?
Well, diamond dust is a synthetic diamond dust, you know, and it's a great story. I was in one of my collectors in Europe. I was having a show in Munich, and Munich is very close to in this state of Austria.
Yeah.
Called Tyrol is where the factory of Swarovski is.
Wow.
And then this woman comes and she reminds me of Grace Kelly, a beautiful person, you know. And she said, "Oh, Romero, I have so much of your work. I would love to do a party for you one day. When you come to Austria, I would love to host you." And then she said, "I'm going to send you a picture where I live." And when she sent to me, I was floored. She lived in a castle.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
it's beautiful, the castle.
Castle full of your art.
Yeah, full of my art, like a very big castle, like 11,000 acres on the top of a hill.
Wow.
And I was like, there's no way I can paint those walls. And I thought about projecting my art because as you have the driveway, keep going up, and then projecting on the wall there, this huge wall there, this main wall there, and then in the courtyard also. And I stayed there 3 days. I couldn't see the whole place. I've been several times, but I could never see everything.
Wow.
And a lot of people came. And anyway, but the story is the fall.
We're there.
We're there. I'm
in
at
the
the castle. I'm
Yeah.
here. There's wind in my hair. Grace
I can
Kelly's
see
to my
the
left.
acres.
No, it's funny because for you to have an idea that she drink water in a pitcher and she get pebbles from the castle, from surrounding, put in the water to drink water with the
Minerals.
rocks from there.
What a cool
Wow.
Anyway,
lady.
so her name is Catherine. And one day, if you guys want to go there visit, I definitely call her and let her know.
We're just
There's
gonna
plenty of room in
attach
there.
ourselves to your luggage.
Yeah.
We'll be your free assistants.
Oh, thank you. And then she took me to visit the Swarovski factory. And as we are going through the factory there, the people from showing everything, how they do everything in Swarovski. And then she asked me a question, Romero, do you know why we all love sparkle? And I was like, I didn't know. And then she said, it doesn't matter, you're a kid or grown up, we all love sparkle, firework, everything that sparkle we love, right? It doesn't matter from where in the world we love sparkle. We love light. And then I said, I don't know. And then she said, because sparkle remind us where it came from, light.
The stars.
So like people love that, like stars, anything that we love.
We're made of
light.
stardust.
Who doesn't love sparkle and light?
Yeah.
True.
Anyway, so that's how I started putting a sparkle into my work.
I love that all of the new things that you add were either like an exploration or a happy accident or a revelation?
Yeah, it happened. You just have to be aware. Like this was one that was very special. This visit that I did for Catherine and her family, and I started adding sparkling to my work. But a long time ago, I used very primary colors, and then I started adding pastels, and then start adding, the metallic colors.
I saw.
So I started like that, many colors, and I used those colors for many years. When I adopt a color, I never get rid of them. I keep them. You know what I mean? So, and then I also
in your palette.
In my palette. And it's also very easy for the future, even now, for me to do any sort of restoration, anything that happened with the painting, because, as a painter goes in a journey in people's lives, they travel and so many things can happen. And so to restore the pieces is very easy. And then I also, many times I go to places and I see something throughout the years and I like it. And I sent to a place that they mix my paint in California.
I was going to say, which I thought was the coolest thing I'd ever heard. I saw that some of the colors you've chosen, you said were inspired by your son's children's toys.
Yeah, like Lego pieces.
I was saying,
flowers.
I wonder what toys. Do you remember any of Legos?
Yeah, like many pieces, like to be very, very, those colors are so happy.
Amazing.
And pigmented.
Right.
Yeah, flowers. And sometimes I send flower in the box with ice to California so they could mix my color. The funny thing is that I used to have an assistant used to do all that for me. And one day my assistant, had to go to another state. And then I never realized because he named all the, his name was well, I cannot say
don't say his name.
But, and then it was so this color. Oh. So now I'm changing everything, the colors.
Oh, yeah.
We
want the Britto colors. That's amazing.
Wow. So have you ever restored your own work? Like do people come and say, I have this Britto?
I don't feel, but I'd rather have them to send to other people. Like if the paint is in Europe or Asia or something, like,
better go to somebody else.
So it's just like, and then I think it's better for them to find somebody who does restoration or things like that.
Right, because it's a different world.
I saw that a part of your process is that you have strategy meetings for naming certain paintings.
Yeah, I mean, there's certain painting that I definitely talk to. I have, sometimes I ask to Lucas, sometimes I ask to my son, or some people around me. I ask, and then I find a name. It's not very difficult for me, but it's always good to hear other people too. It's great.
Do you feel like the name of the painting is important?
Oh, it's very important because then because sometimes people every painting you can see totally different thing.
Yeah,
right.
But at least you have some sort of a direction of the thought of the artist as well.
Right.
You know what I mean?
At least the intention.
The intention, because then you say, well, I don't see that. I see something else. Like I was in a show in Germany and a woman came and a vase of flower and say, oh my God, this is my husband. And I believe in her because she bought it. No, but you know what I mean? She say, I love it. This is my husband. I can see my husband this.
Wow.
And it was a vase of flowers. I was like,
that's
shocked.
Incredible.
You were like, you're right. It is your husband. This piece is for you. You can't leave here without it. It's your husband.
Oh, Emily, you're good.
Do you have any? So, of course, you've developed your voice as an artist, and you are probably the most recognizable artist in the world, maybe. I, being with Emily, being an artist in my own right, there's two kinds of art that I make. There's the art that's for the public, and there's the stuff that maybe she's heard because she lives with me.
I do.
Some special people may know exist, but for the most part, people don't know exist. Is there a part of the art that you keep just for you? Do you have like a special sketchbook at home that you like draw in only black and white and pen, or anything like that?
Well, I have a lot of things that people never saw. You know what I mean? Like for instance, that I kept from my collection, I give to my son.
Right.
And but one thing I really learned really early, and I don't know where this came from, that I know that I cannot keep everything from me. You know what I mean? I mean, I keep for now, like things that nobody ever saw. But I always wanted my art to just start their journey. Some pieces I have, right? Yeah. But I know that one day they have to go. It's like hanging a pin on the wall. And you know that this sad story that one day you have to take it down. It's just like,
Does it feel like you're giving away a little piece of yourself
yeah,
every time?
but it's just, you have to learn how to deal with that and just leave the moment, enjoy everything right now.
Oof.
Because eventually everything is evolving, so you can't stop evolution, all that. And but yeah, for now I do have pieces that I have in my place that I have for years, and but at the same time, back in my mind, I know that eventually everything's gonna have to go somewhere. I don't know where.
There's a Romero Britto quote that you may not have heard, but he says, "Art is too important not to share." So I think that's really cool. It's something that when learning more about you, I was like, wow, I've been thinking about that, especially over the past couple of days.
I need to learn that lesson.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I become my own worst enemy. And then I feel like the art isn't ready. It could be better. This isn't my best.
Right.
Like challenging myself. And then in that process, I feel like I lose some of the magic of it. It's kind of like an immature way of thinking about art.
Yeah, I'm not saying you're immature. It's not that, but
I'm saying it.
but I do say one thing, that sometimes it's very hard because we are our first,
Biggest critics, yeah.
And sometimes you have to accept you with all your. That sometimes I'm not saying about you. I'm just saying my part to accept me first. Whatever is about that piece of art that make unique, like even because there's no mistake, there's no right or wrong. Because if you do, like, say, a dot, but the dot has a little crack, because you didn't finish, it could look very cool too, you know what I mean? But you just have to think about where is the time to finish. Because a lot of time, I have a friend of mine that she started painting and then she kept going. The painting can be like totally, let's say, green and become totally brown at the end because she keeps switching.
Right.
But I told her once that, like, maybe you need to know this is the moment, the stage. If you don't like it, you keep adding more, get another paper,
Right.
get another paper. Because now you're gonna do, instead to do 10 painting in one painting, you can do 10 different version of what you want. But you just stop in there and then just like, it looks very cool. It's almost like, for instance, as we grow older, people start shaking their hand and the signature is still you, even if you shake a little bit, you know what I mean? So ideally is for you to say, oh my God, it looks so, like, let's say if you want to do something odd, oh my God, it looks so great, it looks odd, but I love it. And there you go. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if you, like, there was a guy, somebody, a collector, that he said that he was tired about having everything right in his wall. He started putting all the paintings crooked. But it's a look.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a look.
It's a total look.
Yeah.
It's a look. It's like you have a look with your hair like that. She has a look with her hair like with all that. So it's a look. And that's the same thing go to a painting.
Yeah.
And you have to say, you know what? I love. Part of me and me don't like. The other thing, I did this myself. Like, I love glasses. And then one day I put a pair of glasses that I feel like so uncomfortable. But I say, I need to wear this glass because I feel uncomfortable.
Oh.
And I need
kind
to
of like
do
working
it.
through it.
Do you know, working through it? I'm going to wear something that I don't think goes right. Just to
do
to
it.
try it.
Wow. That's like what I'm doing with my unibrow.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Never
do
had one
something
before.
that you don't feel comfortable.
Yeah.
And then you go. I'm not going to jump out of a plane
No.
without parachutes.
Wait, without a parachute?
No, but you know what I mean? But, do this little thing that is not going to hurt me or nobody else. So it's
I think that people are intimidated, right, by people who can play in that territory. Like, everybody is always giving people flack for, wearing the weird glasses or having a mullet or rocking your unibrow or whatever. And it's like, yeah, because you want to do it too. You just won't. It's like maybe not
Be
the
courageous.
exact choices that we would make. But I feel like ultimately we all need to and should play with our comfort zones, with like so many good things come out of that.
Yeah.
And uncomfortable things. Like, I remember when I was younger, like, even just wearing my hair down, I talk about this a lot because it was such a formative thing for me. It made me feel like I was on fire because people were already comparing me to my mom or wanting me to be super feminine. But now they're like, oh, you look so great with your hair down. Why don't you wear your hair down? And I was like, because you're telling me to. And because I feel uncomfortable. And so one day it was pointed out to me that it's like, you're trying so hard to not, you're trying so hard to like be invisible and lay under the radar, that you're actually sticking out like a sore thumb. And I was like, whoa, yeah, that's true. In my own way, I was receiving attention or seeking attention, but in the opposite way that was healthy for me. So I think sitting here and talking to you has also made me realize how much as artists, like, you need to have a relationship with yourself. I think one thing that I'm learning sitting here talking to you is that I need to have a better relationship with me and my art. Like, I feel like sometimes I need an external motivator or what's it called, like external validation. And I see you here and it's just like you and your art have a relationship, you know, and I need to work on that. I'm gonna date my art.
and the other thing is to share your art with people that you love. You know what I mean? Like people that you people that is close to you, and there you go, you know. And just and then pay it, you know, like, listen, I mean, it all takes time. You're very young. I'm much older than you. I could be your grandfather.
No.
But I think it takes time, you know, that, you know, even though they never really pay attention about people say anything about, because, you know, there's a lot of people that like my art, but there's a lot of, you know, jealous, you know, people that, you know, come out with it, say whatever. So when you're an artist, you know, because you expose yourself to people, you know what I mean? Like people, you know, somebody can really kind of decipher what you're doing. They can tell what you're trying to say in your art.
Launching.